Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. You know what? I don't even get mad when I hear people like Kendrick Perkins talk, because this is the honest to God truth about Kendrick Perkins. Well, you know what? I'll save that for a solo video. I'll save it for a solo video about Kendrick Perkins and why ESPN hired dudes like Kendrick Perkins. Why they hire scrubs versus, superstars. Now, Kendrick Perkins said that James Harden is a better player than Stephen Curry. And basically that he would take James Harden over Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, to me, I think, to a certain degree, I think there is a secret hatred for him among NBA players and, just certain people in the media. I kind of have an idea of what it is, though. But, if I say it, then that's going to start a whole different conversation. But I have an idea where a lot of this hate comes from with Stephen Curry. And people have hinted this, too, with the Golden State Warriors. Why a lot of people don't like Stephen Curry. And to be honest with you, if that is the reason why you don't like Stephen Curry, you are part of the problem and you are a cornball. But I've talked about this before, because I don't understand this hatred that everybody has for Stephen Curry. Some people have for Stephen Curry in the NBA. Stephen Curry ain't remotely overrated, and if you think Stephen Curry is overrated, you are a fucking moron. Now, I'm sorry to say it. If you think Stephen Curry is an overrated basketball player, you are a fucking moron. Okay? The Warriors would not have 3 rings if they wouldn't have drafted Stephen Curry. But speaking of Stephen Curry, let me talk about this comparison to James Harden. I forgot what slot James Harden was picked. I think I know he was a top 5 pick many moons ago. But compared to some drafts, who went number 1, who shouldn't have went number 1, who should have went at least ahead of this person, who should have went ahead of that person, I can tell you right now, there is no draft where James Harden, I'm talking about any draft that James Harden is involved in within the last 10 years, that he would be picked number 1. But I bet you there's a couple of drafts based off how Stephen Curry turned out, he would be picked number 1. If you go back to that draft where Blake Griffin was the number 1 overall pick, I guarantee you, if you go back in time, and even though Blake Griffin has had a great career, he's not a bust in no way, shape, or form, but you still probably taking Stephen Curry number 1 if you had an idea of how good a player he was going to be. A lot of people underestimated Stephen Curry. They said dude wasn't going to be nothing more than a journeyman, off the bench role player. Which I thought was absurd. When I saw him at Davidson, I knew he could play. I knew he would be a great NBA player. But he's past great NBA player. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay? Stephen Curry is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Book it. Okay? Book it. Is James Harden a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yes, he scored a lot of points. But does that mean he's a lock to go to the Hall of Fame? Yes, he's a league MVP. But look at his performances in the playoffs when it counts. He stayed getting sent home by Stephen Curry. They had a chance to eliminate the Golden State Warriors, and James Harden choked. Now, I think Stephen Curry's performances in the finals, I think that people kind of to say that Stephen Curry didn't show up in the finals. Stephen Curry averaged double digits in the finals every year he's played in the finals. Last year they just didn't have enough people. They was destined to lose that series. They have KD, they win that series. They beat Toronto probably in 5 games. But like I said before, not gonna discredit Toronto. They won that series fair and square. You play with who's available to play. But you look at James Harden, how he's choked, and how sometimes he can be very erratic with his shot selection. I mean, he's came up smaller than a midget in the playoffs. They had the Warriors beat, and they lost 2 games in a row. And if I'm not mistaken, they lost at home too. Stephen Curry stays sending James Harden back to Compton. So I just don't know how anybody can say that, and think that's factual. Stephen Curry is the only, and I say the only unanimous league MVP. That's one thing Stephen Curry, when he can retire, he can say not even Jordan was a unanimous MVP. Okay? The only person that came close to getting a unanimous league MVP was Shaquille O'Neal the year he won it. And the only reason why he didn't win it, because there was one person that voted for Allen Iverson, which Allen Iverson went on to win an MVP too. And so did Kobe Bryant. But that's what I'm saying. Stephen Curry won league MVP back to back. Okay? James Harden, to me, is on a road to nothing. Because he can't seem to get it done in the playoffs when it matters. And it's a question after this season if Houston is going to have to make a decision out of him and Russell Westbrook. I bet you Houston lightweight regrets paying James Harden that $200 million contract. I bet you that with everything, I'm serious. I bet you they lightweight regret paying James Harden all that money. But that's what they paid him. That's what they thought he was worth at the time. But no, James Harden is better than Stephen Curry. When he played in Oklahoma, he came off the bench. And he don't play. And I mean, Stephen Curry ain't the best defensive player in the world. But James Harden don't play no defense whatsoever. Now he played a little defense when he was at OKC, but when he got to Houston, playing under D'Antonio, defense what? So no, James Harden isn't remotely better than Stephen Curry. All he is right now is a guy that scored a whole bunch of points and didn't win nothing. That's all he is right now. It's been proven you could win playing alongside Stephen Curry. But can you win playing alongside James Harden? That's what I thought. Because right now, the answer is absolutely not. You cannot win playing alongside James Harden. So, enough said. This is your boy Town Biz. I'm out.